Hello everyone and welcome back to the Yukir tribe, and we are here on the snowy mountain where it has actually stopped snowing. We left off last time after actually losing one of our sick nicheling purebred babies to this bluebird right here. A total shock to our armor body, hammer tail, mega horned creatures that we've got right down here. The best and the purest of the Yukir line that we've got clustered up. You can definitely tell which group it is that are the most purebred because they've got all of those mega horns down there. But totally a shock because they have never really had to suffer from losing one of their babies to any kind of threat other than the cold until this bird proved that even armored bodies is not enough to protect baby nichelings in the nest. However, they had to leave that baby nicheling alone because he had doubled up immunity and was sick with a cold. So they left him to the god Yukir, the snow god, or the god Yuki / Lala, the snow god who changes gender and shows up as an albino god of fertility now and then. And the verdict seemed to be that that little one did not pass judgment and was quickly and swiftly taken back to the god Yuki through the means of this big bluebird's talons. So that was a little bit startling, and I think that it has rattled all of these mega horns together, and they're trying to figure out how they feel about that. But it did mean that little Sela here, who was at risk of gaining the cold that her nest mate, what would we call that one? Her nest sibling? Litter mate, I guess is what we would call them, because they're kind of all in the same little nest area together. But Sela is amazing. She has really high fertility, she has healthy immunity genes, she has this beautiful panda dot pattern, green eyes, hammer tail, armored body, she's got mega horns, all those fantastic traits, and we were worried we were going to risk losing her forever because of her being next to a sick nicheling. So actually him being removed has helped out our tribe quite a bit. And Sela's future is actually going to be with Elias here, who was born last time and blew us away. I think the third son of Elfrida and Moon, and the pride and joy of Elfrida's life, because this guy Elias was born with mega horns, cracker jaw, armored body, double Mamut foot, and recessive hammertail. So he is lined up for being Sela's mate for sure, and we probably will finally have the birth of the creatures we need to go on to the next island. Extremely exciting news all around. But now that the snow has actually eased up, it's time to get to exploring a little bit more, and we are going to have to see what kind of interesting discoveries we can make on the unexplored side of the island, and if pushing those genes forward will finally give us the creatures we need to be able to move to new lands. Also, I just noticed we really seem to be passing on the runner's leg pretty strongly, and I'm a little worried about that, but I don't want to risk losing Mamut foot if it's a really sensitive thing. I don't want to risk losing it to some of these other genes. So after Moon has this child, then I will go ahead and try to put Claw back into the family tree, because Claw is so useful. It will give us more strength and it'll give us some fishing, and it's good to balance out that runner's leg a little bit. I don't know if we want entirely just like runner legs on all of our Yukir tribe, but I don't want to risk losing Mamut foot. So we'll have to see if like Claw and Mamut foot compete genetically, and one is always going to be dominant and the other is not. So we'll see how that goes. All right. Anyway, let's go ahead and we're going to start with the birth of Moon and Elfrida's last child and Elfrida's passing. So Elfrida, you will add your bones to this cluster of snowy bones, and you will set your eyes, your beautiful, beautiful blue eyes, out on the icy expanses where one day your descendants, possibly your children, most likely your grandchildren, will walk across this icy bridge and explore new lands, and hopefully, as Elfrida in his aging voice is telling his young son Elias, hopefully find some of the ancestors still locked away in those icy blocks. So, this is always so hard when I have to say goodbye to one of my favorites. Elfrida, goodbye! I'm gonna miss you! Oh my goodness. And we have one more child born to us, and he has at least one Mamut foot. So not bad. Could have been a lot worse for sure. Alright, let's give this little guy with his gigantic ears a new name. And he is going to be named... that name in particular seems a little bit big for such a little one. We'll name him Tunrima, which means speedy traveler. So let's go ahead and give Tunrima his name. I think that he may have a little bit of a wandering urge like his older brother does. So we have a very troublesome son from Elfrida named Akidok, and he actually likes to Akidok? Oh my gosh, some of the names sometimes are going to change how they're pronounced because they're kind of tricky. But he causes a lot of trouble and has wandered away from the family tree because he wanted to explore, and he has ended up dragging his uncle and his sister into his naughty little adventures, but they seem to be having a good time. So I think that Anna is a little bit surprised at herself with how much of a good time she's having exploring. And I think Tasco is actually having a good time in his old age, just kind of adventuring with his young niece and nephew. So they're wandering around here, and they might actually bump into this little bunny. And who knows, they might establish like a nice little base that the rest of the family can come over and get the food resources we need from. Also, I think we've pretty much bred enough for now, though I'm a little worried as usual about the prevalence of how many of our purebred Yukirs we have, but we just had little Isco. Oh no! And Anna, oh no, we've got another sick nicheling! Code Red, she has immunity H. Yes, she can breed with Deathondrius. Alright, so we have another sick nicheling. We need to keep her away from everyone. We have to abandon her. Oh no. Alright, so we have little Akka. So that's actually really fitting because she had a name that begins with A. And we have little Isco. Let's jump down, and we're gonna go with Folra. So, Folra, names from the amazing name list that I have pulled from the suggestions that you guys leave in the comments. Please, 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 I say it every time, but it's just because I want to remind everybody I need as many names as possible. If we are going to be doing a niche a day all the way till the end of the year, a huge personal challenge for me, oh my gosh, then I need as many names as you guys can possibly suggest. But Folra is now at risk with her beautiful blue eyes because Akka has doubled up immunity and thus an illness. I feel like the nichelings would feel like this nest is now cursed because that is the second child with doubled up immunity that has been born into that nest. So Krovi's not going to waste any time. She's going to destroy that nest. For good measure, she's going to go ahead and destroy this nest too. And then we're going to scooch everybody away from the sick baby. And I think we'll send Sela over, and she's going to start visiting with Ulias. And Ulias has a lot to say about his father's tales about wanting to travel across to the new land, across this icy bridge, because I love to imagine that these stones fall apart into the water after they cross, and that's why they can't go back. But he's got a lot of cool stories to tell, so we'll let Sela visit with him. And then let's come over, we'll kick the tree again, and we will have Simi come, and she can help gather up some nuts. I was gonna have Simi actually try to breed with Deathondrius, and we may still do that. I want to get him up into, oh man, he can't go up that direction. I want to get him up safely into a hot springs. But now I'm beginning to wonder if it's better to have Deathondrius just straight up breed with like Akka. So we'll have to see if they have any Mamut food creatures. We'll see. Really, having Elias and Sela here, yeah, actually Simi might want to breed with Deathondrius just to make sure we get that Mamut food in. Alright, and then Moon, let's see. She's probably feeling like she wants to come over and peck away at some berries. Kind of hard to lose her mate, but I think she's very proud of Elias's birth as well. And then, let's see, Crove, anybody else? Crovey and Crove. They want to have one last child together. Ferdinand, you are not safe to breed with either of your sisters there. However, he would be unsafe as well. Unfortunately, they share immunity H, so gotta get him a little bit of space. He'll try to clear some spots away. Ferdinand, who to breed you with? Oh, no. Dang it, I got so excited. I was like, oh, he can breed with Andrea, but no, we can't. We unfortunately can't have little Andrea breed with him either. We're in a little bit of a pickle because I just realized that we literally only have one male and like one male purebred, and he really shares very strong genetic similarities with all of his sisters. Okay, gotta keep an eye on this little cluster of purebred Yukirs. They're starting to cause me a little bit of grief. Alright, let's see. We do have a leech we can get, which sounds really weird, but you know what? I'm gonna have Ferdinand come on over, and his sister can pluck this leech off, and then we get some food. Better than nothing. Better than nothing. And Andrea, we're going to have her scooch over here. Now that she's big enough, we're going to have her move into one of the little hot springs. She cannot breed with Descendants, but she could breed. Not with Crove either. Darn it. Huh. I'm going to have to be a little more careful. I do have a kind of like a secret weapon back here though, so I might need to dig Zakai out. E and B immunity. Zakai, I might need to send you all the way around, and we might risk having Zakai breed with Andrea perhaps, because that would at least work. So Zakai, maybe I'm gonna have you turn around, or actually maybe it's just faster to keep him going this direction with our hedgehogs. So we might have them continue their exploring up along this side of the island. Oh, there's a Dodomingo. Oh, there's some Dodomingo meat. Never mind, there was a Dodomingo. Alright, and Tuin, I feel like he would be a little bit fussed at having to leave his hot springs because it was nice and warm in there. But we'll continue having this group travel by then, because Zakai is becoming increasingly important, even if he doesn't have all of the genetics that we need. But he would hopefully not pass that swimming tail down. And otherwise he has like really strong genes that we want, other than the fact he's missing armored body. So, he might make a good mate for Zole. That actually might really help us out. Zakai, would you make a good mate for Zole? Maybe? Immunity E. Zole, where'd you go? I have too many nichelings again, guys. Yes, they would make good mates. Wonderful. We might have to make that happen. Curse those immunity genes for sneaking up on me. But then again, we did just see that rogue female. So we have benefited quite a bit in the past for letting in random rogue females. But I don't know if we want to invite in one at this stage of the game. So we'll have to think about it. All right, Torkin. D and F immunity. Then we've got D and F immunity on these two. They both have Mamut foot. Well... yeah, D immunity is getting really common. Okay, we'll have to address what the heck we're going to do. D and F immunity are getting really common with the immunities later. For now, we'll go ahead and just let everybody continue to enjoy their time wandering around, gathering up some delicious food. I think Torkai might be really interested in chasing down these bunnies with his sister. Look how comfortable that looks. They're just eating like all the bunnies they can get their paws on. And enjoying the hot springs on the side of the mountain. That's so cool. Well, as long as you guys are comfy and contributing to our food issue. So, I'm going to have to get a lot more specific with some of our breeding. Oh, and Comis is about to pass away. Oh, I wish she had passed on that H immunity. That would have been so useful. But if she's about to pass away, then I'm going to go ahead and let her spend her final moments over here with her daughter, Andrea, who has kind of been very isolated because she has an illness. So I think that's really sweet that her mother, Comis, will come over and be able just to spend her very final moments of life with her daughter by her side, because she knows it doesn't matter regardless. So, all right, what do we have going on over here? We're kind of getting a few too many nichelings, so I might wait on having Opal give birth to her next child, and I'll let her come up and try to warm her son up, because for some reason Fog is getting quite chilled. And then Kuno is going to come over and try to get some of those nuts, and we will have Ankiri come up and gather up some grass. I think she just is very nurturing, like Anka, but she doesn't really go out of her way to want some children of her own. So we'll see how that goes. Alright, so who do I need to focus on? I need to start isolating some of our genes for sure. Zole, I need to get some food. Oh, look! That unknown nicheling is over here, so we might have to go over and greet her. And I do need to start really focusing on some of my niche creatures, like pretty hardcore. But we'll allow them to go around and start gathering up food for now. And I think Zole could come over to this tree. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Corey. We've already got Sela headed over to her future mate with Ulias, and I think their children are really going to form the basis of who we're going to send on to the next island. And then Dathandrius, who could you take as a mate? He could take Zole as a mate as well, and he could actually be a perfect mate for Akka. So we might leave Akka and Dathandrius alone to be mates to each other, and Zole, we'll scooch you over here. Crove is about to pass away, so we'll let handsome old man Crove just kind of curl up under this pine tree where he spent so long wrestling a balanced bear, and he can pass away there. Again, and it sounds so sad, but I feel like the Yukirs really would find honor in, when they're elders, finding the perfect place that they would want to be to pass away. And for Crove, that's under this pine tree where he can remember the many children he fathered, and he can remember wrestling the balanced bear. And for a creature like Camise, that's over here next to her daughter, who she hasn't been able to be near since she was born. And for other creatures like our wonderful Elfrida, then that's standing over here next to the path that he wishes that his descendants can go down. So it's just very, very touching. All right, and I think that Corey will kind of stay over here because she's a little worried about her siblings, even if they're supposed to leave Akka alone. Hopefully Akka won't just like chain pass on a disease to all of my purebred Yukirs. That would make me quite frantic. And let's gather up some food. Oh, we just had so many deaths. Oh my gosh. All right, we're going to go ahead and jump down over here. Gotta enjoy the nice weather while we can. So Lovsa and Thorikin will gather up stuff from over there. Andrea is going to keep moving. She and who can she even begin to be a mate with? Oh my gosh. Like nobody. Dang it. That's too bad. Well, I guess it's not the end of the world because Andrea, as much as I would love to give her like a family and give her a life that way, we do need to start really pulling down the number of niche creatures we're breeding because we're not pulling in a ton of food right now. In fact, we can at least let her be in charge of this berry bush and contribute to the family that way, and I think that would make her happy. And we'll have Zole show up and maybe be able to keep her company, and then I'm gonna have Crovi give birth right now because she is about to pass away. And I think Ferdinand would want to stay near his mom and kind of make sure that everything goes well there. Little baby Akka is unfortunately cold and sick still, but at least we can get Fulra kind of away from her sibling, as sad as it, or like her, well yeah, her half sibling, as sad as it sounds, because we do not want that illness to spread to this little one. And I think that Corey would come around the long way and try to watch over her little sibling and keep Fulra from at least completely freezing to death in the cold here. So it's so sad to have to leave our little babies exposed to the icy cold, but I feel like it's just a new part of the Yukir tribe's way of sort of weeding out those super dangerous genetics. However, little Akka here would make a really great mate for Dathandrius, so we might make that finally be able to happen. Why are there so many rocks? I am trying so hard to get Dathandrius up into this hot springs for his own good, and there's just rock after block, and it's just ridiculous. Poor Dathandrius. He survived the trials of the cold weather and being kind of abandoned in the snow. Again, not really cruelly, just like I guess it's kind of like you can't get around the fact it's cruel, but it's just sort of like the tribe's culture now. And he can't even get himself to the healing hot springs as a reward for surviving to adulthood. That is just so much injustice. But at least we'll have Simi come over, and we'll have Simi come down, and these two can fall in love. And I think that Simi is now in love with Dathandrius, even if she's not pregnant with his child. And we'll see where having 3 Mamut foots to toss into the gene pool for the next generation will take us. Also, Moon, I'm going to go ahead and let her just kind of quietly nibble on her little berries over here. And then over here, we've got little Turima, and I think he may come join us with like taking up his mom's spot, gathering up these berries too. Also, I'm kind of torn between putting in Claw or maybe putting in Nimble. Well, we don't really need Nimble Fingers if we have Cracker Jaw and at least one runner's leg for the other purebred Yukirs. All right, and then Ulias I think might be be showing off his family tree to Scylla, and we'll have her come over, and she jumped into the nest. Is that by being close to other animals? Okay, it would be kind of cute if you got a little boost for being inside of a nest, but it makes sense why you wouldn't. All right, so they're over there, and then we have a desperate need for more food as well. So, oh, bunnies everywhere! Oh my gosh, bunnies and dodomingos all over the place when it comes to getting more food. Oh my goodness, look, there's more bunnies! Can you make like a snowy path that you can trap the bunnies in when the snow is thick? Is that something you can actually do? Because that would be so cool. I think Anna might be onto something. She's gonna see if this is something that she can do to keep the bunnies kind of channeled right over here by isolating them in the snow. That would be so fun. All right, we'll keep an eye on that. All right, you guys be good. And then, yeah, I guess it's okay not to breed Andrea because we need to really start pulling in how often we breed and how much we breed. All right, let's see. Can any of you guys? No, they've all got like no paw. So unfortunately, none of these guys are going to be strong enough to actually destroy a berry bush. Unless, nope, not even Zakai can do it. All right, we will let him snag this though and kind of run ahead a little bit. Ooh, Corey. Ah, dang it. All right, no, can't get close enough to be able to get that bunny. So our hedgehog army continues on with Zakai joining them, possibly to swing his genes around to the other side of the mountain in the future. And then let's see what surprises the next generation bring us. Oh my. Oh my, there's a lot going on over here. All right, what do we have here? Oh, Anasila. She's born, she's beautiful. Wow, and she's got that claw going on, and she's got those beautiful blue eyes, and otherwise she's like a perfect bred creature. She's also got H and D immunity. Oh, both are kind of rare, but we have plenty of that in our Yukir tribe. And Akka ended up surviving to a like semi-juvenile adulthood-ish age, so thank goodness. And Corey can scooch over here, and they can all kind of try to keep each other warm because it's still a little bit chilly here. So thank goodness Akka might be able to live to breed with Deathondrius, so we'll keep them there. And Anasila, I kind of want to name you after your father, or like Anakov. That's kind of not really a good name. Oh, and I can't really dig out Anasila's parent very easily here, so I'm just going to pick a name off of the amazing list you guys have given me, and we're going to go with Apila. Well, that's actually a very pretty name. I like it. I'm glad I ended up picking a name there instead, and it begins with A, ironically, too. So we have little Apila, and she is healthy as well, so gonna have to look into this. And then, let's see. Zolai is getting cold because she's on her own H and F immunity, so we might start moving some of this bit of the family tree over. I kind of wonder if Ferdinanda might end up being Zolai's mate after all, just because it's kind of a waste of her genes not to have her have a mate, so I'm gonna have to think about that. Also, Torikin and Lavasi, I think, would start wiggling back over towards the tree once they gather up all of this food, because they have they're not getting cold, but they have heard the cry of somebody who is beginning to get a little bit chilled out in the cold by themselves. And as Mamut food creatures, they have a responsibility to go and take care of that. Whew, and sorry about that, guys. I have a little bit of a bad cold from all of the traveling I've been doing again. So if I keep like losing track and stopping, it's because I am getting a drink of tea and practically like choking to death because of all of the coughing. So anyway, and Kiri, I still don't know if I want to breed this branch of the family tree, even if they have. You know what? I probably don't. That's just the bottom line. They probably don't need to breed. They really don't. They've been taking care of a lot of things. I'll let Opal have like one last child because I'm about to lose a whole bunch of the older ones. Darn, and I can't even grab anything from over there. But unless they're pulling in a ton of food for some reason, and like Zakai is super interesting. Zakai. Got it. All right. Wow, look at all these clams and look at all these cravets. Oh my gosh, it's just a feast. It's a feast everywhere. Oh my goodness, I think that they'll be pretty excited about this. Maybe they can come and fight Krabbits. Alright, come on, Tween. We're gonna have like a Krabbit battle over here. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna have like a Krabbit battle party. This is the kind of adventuring that the hedgehog army gets up into, and young Zakai has been drafted in. That is awesome. All right, and then we've got, yeah, look at that. I think Ana is onto something when it comes to isolating the rabbits when it becomes really snowy like this. And let's see, Akadok might want, oh, what the heck? Oh, he found some like grassy material. They've got another rabbit that they've kind of isolated across the snowy streams that they probably want to tackle. All right, oh, and Moon just passed away. I am really gonna miss her. She was a very important member of this family, and I'm really gonna like mourn her. I think Elias might be really sad, and I think that Sela might be sad for him, so she might try to like reassure him like, oh, it's gonna be okay. Because they're just young little ones, these juveniles, and they're growing up so quickly though. Hopefully they'll be able to have children next time for sure. But until then, Simi, let's try this again. Alright, Dithondrius. There we go. Finally managed to pass on a little bit of that family tree. We're going to have Simi have Dithondrius's first child. So there's that. Hopefully we can get Akka over to Dithondrius, and since they're both sick, then at least they can have each other to rely on. In fact, I wonder if that's why it'd be worth it to send Andrea over here, because maybe she can't have children with Dithondrius because they both have double D immunity. But at least they would be able to share like warmth with one another. And that really goes for the Mamut foot philosophy of how to raise family. So I think that makes a lot of sense. All right, let's go ahead. Oh my goodness, it's already snowing. Ah, drama. Oh my gosh, balance bear. Oh, so much is happening all of a sudden. Wow! We have Hammertail! You guys! We have progress! We have Mamut fruit and we have Hammertail! Congratulations, Dithondrius! Oh, I'm so excited. Let's name your beautiful daughter. There's actual possible progress that's going down. And I love this big, gigantic, fancy name. Elflinda. So Elflinda, which apparently means a noble serpent. I don't know if that really fits, but she does have Hammertail, so maybe, you know, like Wigglytail, Serpent Tails. But we have Elflinda here, and she's beautiful. She has got double Mamut foot, which means we're really pushing that into the family tree even more, and she has Hammertail. Fantastic! Fantastic! Oh, I'm very happy. Let's get another pregnancy going on over here to celebrate. There we go. All right, and I think that Dithondrius would pass her down some of these branches as a way of trying to help take care of the family as he can. And we'll have Tunrimi come over here. Ooh, look, there's that random nicheling again. Or is that? It's a terrible rogue male! He's back! No, you can't have Simi! And you can't have Sela! I think that Elias would like... There we go. Elias was not going to have any of that nonsense. He has come to care so much for Sela, and they are not going to have their wonderful beginning of a romance interrupted by your naughty self. I think Tumrimi. Should I do it? Oh, it took a little bit of damage, but I think it was worth it because he is trying to defend like his brother's mate, because you know his brother can't come down near his mate, so he's defending his brother's mate from the evil rogue. So, oh, so awful. All right, let's see what's going on over here. Unfortunately, Akka is frozen. I think Corey would be super upset about that and do what she can to try to encourage her little sister to make a run for it. Oh, here's that creature Anala, and she's frozen too. And then we will have little Flora come over. This baby April is not old enough to move yet. And Ferdinand, I think Ferdinand's unfortunately going to have to risk having some children with his siblings, which is never really my goal, but I think it needs to happen or else we're going to lose the pure-blooded Yukir tribe, as so often happens. So, oh no. And I think Zolai is frozen, which would send Lavasi into a total fit. because it is their job as the Mamut food creatures to take care of those who are in the Yukir tribe and prevent them from becoming too cold and frozen. So I think that these two, Lavasi and Torakan, would come back over from their little collecting mission quite distressed to find many of the Yukir tribe members freezing, also starving. I need to just rein in. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? You had to go and throw another amazingly random child, did you? Now we have a Mamut foot crippled paw, cracker-jawed, mega-horned, armor and hammertail recessive with I and B immunity? Maybe that's actually what we need. Maybe that truly actually is what we need. I need to just take the risk because those are desperate genes that we desperately need. I think that I do need to take that risk. Okay, Opal, there we go. You need to come down, and I think you need to have some more babies with Kuno, but we might need to start moving these guys over to like maybe this tree so they're closer to this branch of the family, because that's going to be a long walk. Thank you very much to try to get them all the way back over to the other side. Oh my goodness, that's going to be a little hard. All right, we're going to have that little guy eat what he can, and we're going to try to grab some food over here and then move everybody together so they don't stay too cold. And then these guys, they're kind of on a little bit of a party right now. They're attacking Kravitz. They're gonna start fighting Kravitz. If I can fight the Kravitz. Did that Kravitz just like die? Oh my gosh, they're just surrounded by so many Kravitz. They're gonna start fighting Kravitz and maybe getting something yummy to eat as a result. Look at that. Look at that. We've got all the Kravitz we could possibly want to eat over here. We're gonna have to get Zakai back into their little embrace, but that might be what the hedgehog army does, is fight off this gigantic swarm of Kravitz. So that is awesome. All right. And with that, we are really starting to pick up the pace, and I will try to pick up the pace even more. Oh, and I almost forgot these guys up here. Can I get across to the other side and get that bunny? I think that he would want to. So let's jump up here. There we go. Got the bunny. I think that Ana would be a little upset and a little worried because her brother's on the other side. And these guys actually need to worry about a balance bear. So we might move them over a little. Because they actually, oh no, and Tosco is about to pass away. Oh, that's so sad. So we might have Akadok like clear away the snow to let his sister escape from the balance bear. We might have her move up here to keep an eye on the balance bear because once Tosco passes away, they won't be in the group of 3 that's safe for exploring anymore. So Akadok might work over here and he might even rescue Anala as a result. So that's going to be interesting. But we're also going to have the birth of Sila and Ulzai's first child. And we may actually end up with the Yukirs that we need to completely focus on, and we'll just stop breeding or release a whole bunch of the others. Because once we get those Mamut foot, those moose horns, we get that hammer tail and armored body all together in one creature and ready to go. Then it's just time to step back, you guys, and get ready to move on to the next island. So that's going to be a little bit exciting. We're getting very, very close. A little hint here and there. And I guess that just the last thing to really make sure of might be kind of digging around in our wild cards, like Miss Opal here, born from her amazing mother, Mamis, and finding the ones with the genes that we really need, B and I immunity. Really need to insert those into the main branch of the Yukir family tree for sure. So, whew, there's a lot of adventures going on. We'll be back next time to fight Kravitz and hopefully dive across frozen, snowy, icy rivers to avoid balance bears. So I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.